Hello everyone, welcome back to another speed build. Today I am showing you a build I did quite a while ago now. You can see it up in the top corner. This was a shell challenge. It was by little Simsie. It was her birthday shell challenge. So that was back in August. I'm sure most of you are pretty familiar with the idea of a shell challenge, but essentially someone makes the shell of a build and then you just turn it into whatever you want. Obviously a lot of people do things like houses just because people love to build houses, but you could literally turn it into anything your heart so desired that was possible in The Sims. So I just went for like simple suburban house, you know the vibes. I wanted to go kind of farmhouse vibes, but definitely not a farmhouse. But I don't know, I'm sure someone would understand much better what kind of style this is that I've gone for. But the outside is all like exposed brick and yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like modern rustic. Maybe? I don't know. But I kind of like the style, honestly. Kind of probably not my personal thing, but very much like doing it in The Sims because there's just so much for it. It really is like the cats and dogs style, essentially. So whatever that is, it's pretty much just that. But yeah, essentially I watched Simsie's stream when she did the shell challenge herself. And she was sort of saying how there's like basically one side of the shell that very clearly is the good side to be the front of the house. And I sort of went, well, I've already seen her do it and like she said herself, it's like the easy way out. So I'm kind of gonna go for the harder way. So I went for how the shell was positioned initially. I didn't rotate it or anything like that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and that's kind of like hard mode. So I'm pretty cool. I've made it difficult for myself. I mean, I don't know, it's just kind of fun. The whole point of this kind of thing is just to have fun and see what you can make and go creative with things. So why not add a little extra challenge by purposely using the side of the house that I didn't think was good to be the front. I've just seen it pop up actually on the doors. It's Craftsman, I'm pretty sure, is the style. I'm pretty sure I've heard that before. Yeah, the whole cats and dogs thing is like a Craftsman style. So maybe that's the kind of thing I've gone for. A little bit farmhouse, a little bit Craftsman. I should really honestly look up some of these words because they're always like in The Sims and stuff and I've got no idea what it means. I'm not an architecture girly. I really don't know anything like that, so I definitely very much struggled with the floor plan in this build, especially the upstairs, trying to fit in like I wanted 2 bedrooms and a bathroom and trying to fit it all in. I really wasn't sure what made the most sense. In the end, I went for like a really weird sort of like, both of the bedrooms are very like long and skinny. I don't think maybe it was the best outcome, but I kind of liked what I did with the spaces, so it was fine in the end, but it was a bit of a struggle. I honestly probably cut out the majority of that because it was just a bit tragic, to be honest. And honestly, it's just kind of boring. Like, I don't want to watch that, you don't want to watch that, nobody wants to watch me like moving walls side to side for like 10 minutes, you know? As with the windows, I in the build am currently watching myself like move around windows and it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And quite frankly, I think I'm just going to cut that. So who knows what you're currently seeing? Maybe it's windows, maybe I've moved on by this point because I am just simply not having that as part of this. I'm like moving the roof around, moving the windows around, like I could not make a clear decision on this build. I changed like the colour of the windows and the doors like multiple times. I kept the same ones, just changed the swatch like so many times going like, oh, maybe this would, although this slightly lighter one, no, this slightly more orange one. Over and over and over again. I actually can't remember exactly how long this build took me, but it was longer than necessary. I also used an absolutely iconic green roof. I love the green roofs in The Sims. I feel like maybe that's a bit of a polarizing opinion. I love them. I think they look so cute. I don't know if I think they'd look good in real life. I'm sort of trying to picture it. I guess maybe like, especially on something like a farmhouse, maybe something more cottagey, like, you know, a bit whimsical, like it might work, but yeah, definitely not the most realistic thing to have like a green roof. I'm actually now realising as I watch this build sort of play out before me that I have sped up the footage and did not edit it. Usually I would speed it up, edit it and then do the sort of filmed voiceover bit. I believe I have not edited it, so that's good. That's good. So excuse me if at any point in this video I'm like talking about something which you've maybe already seen or are not quite seeing yet. I think I am going to be a bit out of time but I will do my best, okay? This is high quality production in the house, okay? So for me, I'm currently doing the entryway in this house. And you'll see I use those two little hutches. I know that we have ones that like would fit that space, and we have ones that even have like things already in shelves and stuff, whereas I've put in like custom things hanging. I know we have that, and I know I could have used it. I sort of tried one later on in the build as well, but I just kind of preferred the look of these two like put together. I don't know. I like to be creative in The Sims, to be honest. Like, I really like having to put things together and add little things in here and in there to try and make something else, if that makes sense. Like, I've done a build before where I wanted to have a single bed in like this little bump out in a room, but if I just put the bed in there, it sort of was like really set back. Like the bump out was too big, and I think it was also a shell challenge, so I couldn't like move the wall or anything. So instead I put these like dressers behind the bed, almost like to make a built-in bed, like it was like shelves around the bed so that it fit into the bump out like perfectly. Caused me no end of trouble. Every piece of decor I wanted to put on there had to like move everything out, alt place it in, move it back. I must have spent at least half an hour, if not more, collectively on just like putting those dresses in and then decorating them, because like I had to size them down, so you couldn't just slot stuff on top. No. On it goes, pull it out, alt place it in, move everything back, over and over and over again. So that was really fun. Don't be like me, kids. Just play the game. Don't make things that difficult for yourself. It's just not necessary. I already found in this build actually that I was maybe struggling with swatches, or maybe just being a little bit too picky. Things like the bar stools, the rug in the living room, I went back and forth so much. Like I'd get out all of these different, oh maybe I'll try this stool, this stool, this stool, this stool. Oh what, okay, maybe I'll use this stool, but which colour? Maybe this one, this one. And I just went on and on and on and on trying all these different ones. I feel like I'm a little bit too perfectionist maybe when I build in The Sims, which is funny because I don't even think I'm that good. So like, perfectionist for what? But yeah, I feel like I just try way too hard to get it like perfect. Which sounds bad, but I still have fun, so I guess like it's fine, but it's just, I spend so much time doing stuff which like doesn't even end up being used. You can tell I really don't sit still as I'm talking, because like every so often I lean forward and like the light goes in my face. I really liked that I did these sort of open shelves in the kitchen. Really loved it. Something else that I went back and forth on the swatch a few times, but I just love having the open shelves, being able to like decorate them. I think it just looks, it looks more full and more like sort of lived in and exciting than just like the cabinets. And I just really couldn't get the cabinets to work with all these windows that I wanted in the kitchen as well. So I just thought, open shelves, let's get decorating. Caused me issues though, of course they did. So I've been having this issue, and I don't even think it's when I leave the game and come back exclusively. I think that happens sometimes, but I consistently am getting an issue with like clutter deleting. And maybe it's just because I'm just simply obsessed with alt placing everything to no end. Like, can't just use the simple slots for anything. Maybe it's that, but everything keeps deleting. Like, I was just doing a build earlier today, and I'd had a little bit of an issue with like one or two things deleting when I'd left the game and come back. And then I was building, and just suddenly I realised I'd finished, I went back to check everything, and like all of the clutter in one room had just gone. Everything on the nightstands, on the dresser, gone. And I was just really confused because I was like, oh no, I bet everything else is gone. Every other room was fine. It was literally just those few areas. So I found that very confusing. If anyone knows what that is, do let me know, because it seems to keep happening to me, and I'm not sure if it's an issue of me just using too much move objects maybe, and it's sort of just messing up, but very confusing. I also had a similar issue actually with a staircase in that build. So I'd put in the staircase basically at the start of the build and was, you know, going about my merry way. I know I'd seen it at some point, but I don't know how far back it had deleted, but all of a sudden I went back, staircase gone. And I was really confused because then I couldn't get it to go back where it was. I'm thinking maybe I actually just forgot exactly the shape of the staircase I had. I thought I'd had sort of like one that wraps back on itself, but that would not fit in the space, like literally just would not fit. So I think that must have just been me forgetting. But it still doesn't explain why it just suddenly deleted out of nowhere. Yeah, like I say, if anyone has any ideas why that might be happening, do let me know. Obviously with the staircase, it isn't like a move objects problem. The staircase fits or it doesn't, you know, so a little bit confused there, but hey ho, there we go. It, you know what, just gets us to practice more. You want to alt play stuff? Fine, do it again, do it again, do it again. Your clutter deleted, do it again. You know, it's like a little build tutorial. I'm currently doing the living room in the build and really loving it, honestly. I really liked all of the sort of lighter wood I was using. It's quite a nice contrast because, like I said, I was doing a build earlier today which has like a lot of like darker wood in it, so this is a nice refreshing change of pace. Yeah, I kind of like it. Sometimes I think it looks a bit washed out, but with the contrast of like the kitchen with the slightly darker wood, I think it all really came together quite nicely. Yeah, and I really love this almost like built-in unit I created for the TV with like the TV stand and then the two like cabinets either side. I think that looked really nice. Quite sincerely, I've been talking for quite some time and I am still adding clutter to the kitchen. So I presume for you, I'm gonna cut a lot of this because as lovely as I think it is, we're gonna go in at the end and look at it anyway. So I don't think you need to watch minutes upon minutes of me like picking specifically which little ketchup bottle I want to put and where I should put it, you know? It's just a lot. Apologies if the lighting has just changed quite drastically. I'm not sure how bad it looks to you. As you can see, strong light rays coming in and stuff that were bouncing off my face. The sun is just constantly in that direction, and obviously now it's winter, the sun is quite low, and it's just bouncing off of everything in the room directly into my eyes, so having to sort of like move the curtains as the sun moves. I'm now just working on the little dining room area, which I think is really cute. I really like this open plan downstairs. Like, I think because obviously there's different sort of kinds of open plan where it's like there's no doorways but everything has a little bit more of a space to itself, whereas this really just feels like one big room. It feels like it would just be a really nice sort of like family area. You know, you can be in the kitchen and see everyone in the living room, everyone in the dining room. The Sims simply don't care about this. If anything, it will cause more issues with like, you know when Sims talk to each other and it distracts them from like doing things that you want them to do? Yeah. I feel like open plan houses for the Sims are actually really bad for that reason because they just like will keep talking to each other instead of actually, you know, being productive, which is a mood. Gotta say, hard relate, but like, yeah, I'm trying to get stuff done. In the end, I went for sort of a pink and green colour scheme overall. It was sort of something that I figured out basically as I was doing the dining room, and then I had to go back and, you know, change a few bits of clutter to like fit the vibe a bit better. But yeah, I love green and pink. I think I actually had a fair bit of green and pink in a previous build maybe. I feel like I've spoken about this before. I just think it is a great colour combination. I think they go so well together. I'm not sure if there is actually any like colour theory on that. I'm not sure sort of where pink and green fall opposing to each other like on the wheel or anything, but who cares? If you like it, you like it. Does it really matter if it's like meant to look good together? I definitely don't think so. I've got a long track history of, you know, wearing things, for example, that most people wouldn't think look good together, but hey, I'm always looking good. Sorry. I've never had any complaints, is all I'm saying. Nobody's ever come up to me and said you look fucking horrendous, so maybe people are just being nice, but I think that says something. So I'm currently just doing the downstairs bathroom, and honestly the upstairs one is pretty much like a carbon copy of it. Yeah, I don't really know why I've included like 2 full bathrooms in this house when there are only 2 bedrooms. Like the max amount of people you can have living here is 3. So realistically, do you need 2 full bathrooms? Maybe not. I feel like I have a bit of an issue with that actually as I'm building, is I always want to have more than 1 bathroom. But I always make like the downstairs bathroom, I don't know why I'm doing that in quotation marks, the downstairs bathroom, I always make it like too big. Usually it would just be like a toilet downstairs, like a toilet room, rather than actually like a full like bath, shower room, whatever. Me, no. I'm like, oh yeah, bathroom, make it like 10 tiles or whatever. It's like, well, to fill this up, realistically, we're going to have like a shower or a bath or something. And yeah, like this house has, I think, shower and bath downstairs and then shower upstairs. And like, I don't really think that's necessary in real life or in The Sims. I don't think you're gonna need that, but you have it now. I don't remember actually if I added any sort of pet stuff into this house. I don't think I did, which is kind of funny given that, like I already said, I kind of went like quite cats and dogs inspired on this. I don't think I added anything for pets. So you literally don't even need a bath in this house. Like for Sims, you can't have like a toddler here either because there's like no bed for them or anything. So it's really just a waste of space. But actually, that being said, I'm forgetting that this is in fact a shell challenge. So it's not like I could like move things around, but you can make rooms smaller. You know, stop making defences for yourself, Ellie. You did a bad build. No. I do think it's pretty good. It's weird actually. I do things that I'm like, when I look back on it, I think that's not very good. But overall, the outcome is something that I like. So who knows? I guess it's just like, maybe I'm actually not as perfectionist as I think. Who knows? But if I like the end product, that's kind of all that matters, isn't it? So let's just leave it at that. So this parents' bedroom is actually very, very big. I'm calling it a parents' bedroom. I guess it could be like any older Sim, I presume. It's really small. It literally basically only just fits like a double bed and then something on the end. So yeah, like I said, they're both just very long and skinny rooms, but in the end, because the kids only need like a single bed, the kids' room kind of ends up having a lot more stuff in it, feeling a lot more like big and open. So yeah, the adults in this house kind of got a bit of a raw deal, if I'm being honest. But again, their room has that pink and green colour scheme. I've sort of latched onto this idea when I'm building that in a house, obviously you like to have maybe a colour scheme, maybe a vibe going on throughout the whole house, but for the most part, and this is pretty realistic, say the parents or whichever sort of adult owns this house, they're the ones who are going to have designed the downstairs, you know, maybe decided to paint the walls a certain colour or get this or that. So of course, say the parents' bedroom is probably going to have that colour scheme as well, or at least that style, because that's the kind of thing that they like. Whereas the kids' room, as long as, you know, they've decided that the kid can have, you know, their favourite colour or whatever, it's not going to be like parent decides the room. It's going to look really different, which I think in The Sims always feels a bit off because you can see everything top down. So you think, oh, how cohesive, that looks lovely. And then like some crazy kids' room or whatever. But in real life, that's kind of realistic. Like the kids' room is going to look a bit chaotic compared to what would be maybe a nice cultivated style in the rest of the house, you know, does that make sense? Speaking of the kids' room, I'm just moving on to that now, and I love it in this house. I think it's just one of the best rooms I've ever made. Maybe not best, but definitely one of my personal favourite rooms that I've ever made. I think the lighting has just changed again. Sorry, you're just gonna have to put up with it. I don't have fancy lighting systems. We're working with the natural light, which does look nice, but can be very changeable, especially at this time of year. But yes, despite what I said about really liking this kids' room, it did take me so long. I think potentially it's the part of the build that took me the longest, which is saying something because I really did take my sweet time on this. But it really took me a while to figure out what colour scheme I wanted. Like I said, like, I didn't want to make it look like the rest of the house. I wanted it to have its own personality. But that did mean that in the end, it took a while because I was basically starting a whole new concept from scratch when I went into that room. And I don't know why, like, I just didn't have one idea that really grabbed me. It also just sort of came down to the fact that the kids' beds are quite limited, at least for me personally. I don't have all the packs, so like, I'm working with quite a limited selection of the kids' beds, and honestly I just don't love most of them. So I went back and forth a few times on like what bed I wanted to use, and I obviously, because that's quite a main feature, especially since I've used a bunk bed, like it's right up top, you can see it over everything else. So I wanted that to sort of lead the way on maybe the colour scheme or something. So at one point I was going to use, I think it is a red bed, and then I was going to have like this polka dot wall that's like white, black and red. I I was like, oh, that's fun, but like I don't really like that. That's really not my vibe at all. So yeah, it took me a while, but I ended up with this like lovely yellow gingham wall. Now that is me. If I could have this wallpaper, I would in a heartbeat. I don't think I'd be allowed to, because you know, you have to share where you live with people, but I would like it personally. But in this room I kind of went for a like kind of tween age sim. I was thinking that doesn't exist in The Sims. It's either child or teen. But one can dream, okay? So that's kind of the vibe I went for, and I'm finding that that's actually an age group I love to decorate for. I think it's just so fun because you can use some kiddie stuff. You can have a little teddy bear, maybe you can have a few toys, but you can also do things like have maybe some perfume, some makeup, like a little mirror space. Like, it adds a little bit more that you can use, and I just love that combination of like being able to be cutesy but a little bit grown up. I think it's just so fun. And in the end I also went for like a bit of a pink and yellow scheme in here, which are like my two favourite colours. So overall, this room really truly was for me. I made this for me. This was for my tween self. I just really love this. I added like posters on the wall. I just thought like that's so classic. Like I'm thinking like 12, 13 sort of age, like you still secretly like your toys, you might not tell your friends, but you also like your little makeup, and like you got your boy band posters maybe. So fun, so fun. An item that I actually think I like discovered as I was building this, I don't think I'd seen it before, is the little, I think it's like a business card, like it's like got loads of little pokey things, and it's got business cards on it, I'm pretty sure. And I put it on top of this little like IKEA style box storage. And in my head, it was like, I feel so silly because it's like, I've just gone on trying to explain to you how it's like for business cards. But in my head, I imagined, because I've seen them before, that they'd be like, I need to insert a picture, I cannot explain this. I'm getting like overexcited, I need to calm. But have you ever seen, it has like a stand and then it'll have little springs coming out and it has little pegs and you can put little pictures in it? I really hope I can find a picture of this so I can just put it on the screen and be done. That's what I was imagining it was, is the whole point of everything I just said. Oh my goodness. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. Okay, so I'm finally moving on to the outside of the build, at least for me. I hope we have all caught up and we are on time with each other. I usually like to build by doing sort of things like the windows and doors, roof, all that kind of thing, the basics of the build. Go inside, do everything inside, and then do things like landscaping and the garden maybe, all of that stuff sort of do last. I don't know why, that's sort of just how my process has developed, honestly. I'm really not too sure why. Also, do you like my little pattern that's evolving here? Beautiful. I destroyed it, sorry. This lighting is all over the place. I'm just gonna stop talking about it. Who cares? Truly, who cares? But yes, I'm just doing the landscaping now, and I feel like I'm only just sort of getting into my vibe of landscaping. Does that make sense? Do I overuse the word vibe? Maybe. But I feel like a lot of people have a bit of a process for how they personally like to landscape. I know people like little Simsie does, like I watch her all the time, and she always explains how she has like a certain way that she likes to landscape, and she always does it. I don't feel like I'm there yet. But equally, I kind of would like to not get into a process of always doing the same thing. I'm someone I really like, if I can, to switch things up, because I'm such a creature of habit that I like, if I can, to like avoid it. Does that make sense? And in something like a game, that's a great time to do it, because truly I'm not going to be mixing up my real life routine. Just not going to happen, is it? So maybe how I landscape in The Sims is how I create, you know, a little bit of fun, funky spontaneity. I actually don't know what's wrong with me. I've not actually spoken out loud today until like this moment. That's a lie, I did, like, but you know, about 6 hours ago or something, so maybe that's it. But I feel very manic. In a good way though. Good vibes, nothing but good vibes. Anyway, moving on. I think this garden pretty much just like solidifies my kind of like family vibes that I really wanted for this house. Obviously, like I said, you can only fit 3 Sims here, so it's not even like a big family house at all. But I feel like the outside having like the barbecue and the little like umbrella table, and I'm pretty sure I added in something like maybe monkey bars. I'm not sure, we've not got there yet. But yeah, the garden just gives me really like fun summer family vibes. So I hope that like comes through to everyone else as well, because I really liked how it turned out. I just added in a few things like, oh, it was a swing set. It was a swing set. So yeah, I have a swing set and like a bird bath and some planters and things like that. And just to me, that feels like so like cozy family vibes. I don't know. I even added in like the hose pipe, which I think is such a fun item. It has no function. It literally just sits there on the wall, and it's like 80 simoleons or something. So expensive for what it is. But overall, I think it's just so fun. I love the things in The Sims that make it just feel like that bit more realistic. Things like putting the soap and toothbrushes on the sink. I just really love that. Like, whenever they come out with stuff that's like making things seem more realistic, I'm like all over it. Okay, so we're just coming to the end of the build, and since we've been whizzing around, I'm just gonna pop into the game so we can have a quick look around at everything as it is finished. Okay, so this is the house as the finished product. I think it is so cute. I love these like really tall trees. And I also really like the black roof trim to sort of go with the black trim in the windows. Love that. So this is the entryway. This was that sort of like entry cabinet thing I was talking about. So I sort of like custom put in a few bits of like clothing and like hats, and then added the like shoes as well. I really like this in the end. This area seems really empty. I'm thinking that actually I had like a backpack or something there. Maybe that deleted itself, as goes the issue I was talking about. But yeah, just simple entryway, and I really love the green paneling. I just like the idea that this was like a bit of a mud room. Again, really begs the question why I didn't add like a pet. This feels like the perfect place to have like a dog. So really, I dropped the ball there. Whoopsie. And then into the first bathroom. I really love this pink and green. Like I was saying, the rest of the house is pretty much all pink and green. I just love it. I think it's so nice, especially these sorts of greens. I think it's really pretty. But yeah, bathroom, pretty simple. And then in we go to this main living area. Like I said, just really open. It really just feels like a family house to me, you know? And that's the vibes. So this is the kitchen. There's all my clutter. I think it looks so cute. I just love to clutter up a kitchen, but I did in fact leave some empty counters. So it's functional. And then we turn around and go into the living room. Like I said, I have this sort of unit that I created around the TV. And yeah, just really pretty pink and green. Maybe Cosmo and Wanda? Are they in my head? I don't know. Seems a little fishy to me. And then this is just the little dining room area. I really wish I'd added a wall here. I know at the time I thought, oh, I should maybe do that, and then I thought, no, doesn't need it. Okay, fine. Everyone else would, but that's fine, I guess. And then yeah, staircase, so we go up, and then this is just a little upstairs hallway, nothing too crazy, but again sort of has that pink and green vibe. And then this is the upstairs bathroom. Like I said, again, just pretty much very similar to downstairs. And then into the parents' room, very skinny, but there, oh, I was about to say there is space. I've not play tested this, so I actually don't know if your Sims can get into this. That would be so funny if you actually can't. Who cares? And just some little clutter on there. I kind of wish maybe I'd put a mirror there. All ways to learn for next time. And then here is the start of the show, my darling. I think the tween age is just such a fun time. I mean, it's not, and it definitely wasn't for me, but like a romanticized version of like tween life is just so cutesy and fun. And I just think, yeah, it's what I was channeling here. Yeah, so we just got a little desk space, which is so cute. The bunk bed, but you still got to have your nightlight. You see that? Nightlight, teddy bear, you get the vibes. A little TV. I just thought like how fun to have like a little seating area with your TV, have your friends round, listen to some music. Oh, I genuinely got too far into the lore of this room, I think. I don't think I ever truly returned, actually. And yeah, just the posters on the wall as well. And this is that thing I was talking about. You see? What is it called? Pro business card holder. But to me, these are like pictures of like her friends, or maybe like little notes that they've like passed to each other. Yeah. And that green roof, darling, she's beautiful. And then out we go just to the back. Oh, I forgot I put all these vines up. I've got a little bit better at placing vines since then. Stop talking badly about yourself, Ellie. It looks good. It looks good. And then, yeah, here's that just little patio area with the grill and the seat. Is that grey? What? I thought I made that pink. Absolutely not. I think pink is better. And then, yeah, here's just like a little bit of simple landscaping with the bird bath. And then over here, we've got the swing set, which I made black just because I thought it worked with like the black trim and stuff. Some of the swatches are just a little bit like, I don't know, like a bit too colourful for the vibes I was going for, you know? And then the best item of all time, the hosepipe. Was it 80? Oh, I knew it was more absurd. 185 simoleons for a piece of wall decor. Oh my gosh. In real life, hoses are way more expensive than you'd want them to be as well. Yeah. Okay, but that is the finished build. I hope you liked it. I've just popped it up on the gallery for you if you would like to look. If you'd like to go and check it out, my ID is just EllieIsobelPrice. It is down in the description as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Give me any comments of any constructive feedback, any videos you'd like me to do in the future, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.